Hello, in this video we're going to be going over early game money making methods. Now all of these money making methods are going to be methods you can do on a day one profile. So the first method we're going to get into is killing Arachne. Now you might think you need some insane gear for this and a lot of money, but the truth is you only need around 2.5 million coins to do so. With some of the other money making methods in this video you won't have any problem getting that. So for this we're going to be using full unstable. I do have bank 5 on my armor just so I don't lose any money. You only need 2 enchants of bank 5 for the 100%. This will just make it so if I die I'm not going to lose any money, because one of the main things that makes a lot of money in Arachne is killing the Arachne keepers. That makes quite a bit of money per kill, and it's likely you're gonna die a few times. Now I only have growth and prot on the armor, and I've got the fierce reforge. For the weapon we're gonna be using the aspect of the end. Now keep in mind I do have the fast reforge because you do need bonus attack speed, so I don't have anything like spicy because there is a damage cap. So we're going to come to the bazaar and we're going to type in Arachne and buy some Arachne's Calling. We're going to buy about a stack. And also in this menu we see Arachne fangs. Now this is what's going to make a ton of money. Now this has a 10% drop, so every time if we sell order, then we'll get 216k per. So we're just going to head over to the spider's den. Now to get to Arachne, we need to go all the way to the back of the den and into this cave here. Codes are at the top of my screen in case you need them. We're just going to keep following the path and then we're going to jump down here and then just go pretty much straight from here. So normally you'll see quite a few people here. In this lobby I got a little bit unlucky. If I just spawn this really quickly, the boss will now be spawning. Also, it's important to note this only costs like 1.2k to spawn the whole thing in. So we've got the boss spawning in now. So these Arachne broods is what makes money. If you look at the scoreboard, you can see I'm getting over 1,000 coins per kill. Now I did just die, but I'm just going to go ahead and quickly go over there again. There's the boss killed. So I dealt 136k to the boss, and normally you'll have like 3 or 4 people dealing damage to it, so it's not a big deal. But I did this solo, but it just shows you can do this solo still. But what I would do if I was you is lobby swap until you see people already fighting Arachne. Now you want to get top 3 for the most amount of soul string. Soul string is what makes a lot of the money here. I'm going to lobby swap and see if I can find people already fighting Arachne. And then I'm going to do a 30-minute test. So I've just come in this lobby and there's already people here. So I've just placed a few Arachne's Calling. Now also, it's important to note, you don't actually need to place these to get good drops. You just need to get top 3. Now you can use a cow head just to not get poisoned. And also to make more money, you can do Spider Slayer at the same time. So you can get Slayer XP and you can get the Toxic Arrow Poison. Just like that, we got 2nd place. I do need to put my money in the bank first and clear my inventory so I can have a 100% 30-minute test. Okay, so I've just done the last one. And now we're going to go over all the loot. So first off, I only have 15 Arachne's Callings left. I don't know how many I actually placed because as I was doing the boss, I was also killing Arachne keepers that were dropping the Callings, which spawn every once in a while. And then also, I wasn't placing every single boss. I think most bosses I did end up placing around 2. So I have 594,000 coins in my purse. This is from killing the Arachnes. You get just over 1,000 coins per kill. So this isn't luck based at all. You just gotta kill the spiders and you get coins. I have all my loot in my end chests. I got a lot of the Reforged Stone. Sadly, this isn't really worth anything. I did get 32 Arachne fragments though, and these things are worth 413k if I put in a sell offer. Now, I'm not going to insta-sell these because I will be losing a lot of money. I also have 4 Arachne's fangs, and these have dropped a little bit in price, but they're still worth a good 719k. Now, we also have a bunch of equipment and armor. Now, you want to salvage these to the altar in the end and then sell the essence to the bazaar. Now, I don't have Cadder 24 on this profile, and because this is an early game money making method, you probably won't have it either. but that is what you're supposed to do. If not, you can just sell it to the NPC for 2k coins, but for now I'm just gonna leave it. Now, in my next page, I actually have a lot more of the drops. So I've got a bunch of soul string. Each stack sells for 320k each, and I also have enchanted string and enchanted spider eye. So I'm now gonna total this all up. We're gonna sell the soul string straight to the NPC, and that puts the purse at 1.7 mil nearly. I am just gonna insta sell this string because there's not that much of a difference, and also the enchanted spider eyes. And now I'm gonna put a sell offer for the rest. Putting up a sell offer for 400k and another sell offer for 857k. Using the Badline calculator, we get 3,173,000 coins in 30 minutes. And if we times that by 2, so an hour, we get 6.3 million coins. Now, this doesn't make too bad money. I did die a few times. You definitely can make around 10 million coins if you just do this in a little bit of a better setup. You could use an aspect of the dragons, but it does require combat 18, which I don't have. And also you can swap to a cowhead, but that is the method. 6.3 million coins an hour. Now we're going to move on to the next one. For our next money making method, we are going to be grinding end nodes. Now, end nodes are a block in the end that you mine, and you have a chance to get good stuff or bad stuff. Near enough everything from it is good, and we're going to mine them for around 30 minutes and see what we get. So for this setup, to be honest, you don't need much, just a full set of ender armor. I have the aspect of the end. I also have a void sword for extra damage and a Pico Nimbus. You don't need this. A regular diamond pickaxe with efficiency 5 will work. I just had one, so I'm going to use it. Now also, we're going to talk about magical power because I forgot to talk about mine in the first method. I have 110 magical power. Now, I'm going to skim over all these talismans, and you can see that they're not really worth that much money at all. These are all talismans that you should be getting in the first day of playing, probably within the first couple hours. You don't need much MP for these methods at all. Now, I am going to put a texture pack on though. This texture pack just makes it a little bit easier to see shiny blocks, or end nodes as they're called. So we're just going to be running around just looking for shiny blocks, like right here. We've got one. And we got endermites from that, which give us might gel, and also some enchanted endstone. Each one of the endermites will drop one of these, and to NPC it's 2k each. So I'm just going to do this for around 30 minutes, and hopefully I get some decent money. I haven't actually started a timer, so I'll just put all this stuff in my ender chest, and then I'll start a timer. Okay, we're going to start now. That is the full 30 minutes done. Now, my inventory might not look that full, but it has been full several times, so I've got a full backpack of stuff here. Also, there was a spooky festival at the same time. I'm not going to include any of that loot. I actually need to sort out the loot so I can see what actually is from end nodes and what's from the spooky festival, plus Enderman. There's a Enderman helmet there, whatever, and then also some runes that you just don't get from end nodes. So I'm just going to quickly sort that out and then I'll be back. Okay, we've sorted everything out. Now, I have 46k in my purse. I believe I started with 0. Not too sure, but I'm pretty sure most of that is from the scavenger enchant on my sword, just killing the endermites. So I'm just going to go ahead and go to the hub and start selling some stuff. The gauntlets are all going to sell to NPC along with the might gel. The enchanted endstone, there's not too much of a difference between NPC and insta-buy, so I'm just going to sell it to NPC. The endstone chokers, I will put a sell offer up just because it is actually a decent amount. And the endstone geodes, I'm probably not going to include. Shrimp the fish, I doubt this actually sells. We have a couple of magical runes, but I don't think these are going to sell either. And then lastly, we have Titanic and the Grand Experience bottles, which I will just be selling to the bazaar. I've got some enchanted ender pearls that are also just going to go straight to the bazaar. So I'm going to sell my inventory. That'll get me another 26k. Okay, now the purse should go pretty crazy here. We're now going to be selling everything. And that's already 1.2 mil. I am just going to insta-sell the Grand Experience bottles. There's not too much of a difference there. And the Titanic, I'm going to put a sell offer up. I'm going to insta-sell the enchanted obsidian. And lastly, I'm going to put a sell offer up for these. Everything else in my inventory, I'm just going to leave. But the purse is at 1.9 million. In the bazaar, I have 218k and the Titanic already filled. So that puts the purse up to 2.5 mil. So we'll say 2.7 million. So in 30 minutes, I made 2.7 million coins from EndNode mining. If I were to do this for 1 hour, I would get 5.4 million coins. But on to the next method. Okay, so this next money making method requires no setup at all, and the only two things you need is a gold axe and a god pot. I guess you could do this without a god pot, but that would be extremely weird and you would not make anywhere near as much money. All you're gonna want to do is enchant your golden axe and make sure it has silk touch and efficiency. I'm gonna have to quickly go to my island to enchant this, and we're just gonna put silk touch on just like that. That's all it needs to look like. So, for this method, we are going to be farming mushrooms in the desert. Now, you probably think we need farm armor or something like that, but because we are using Silk Touch, farming fortune doesn't actually work here. So you need to come over to the farming islands, which is the island past the barn, then you just keep following my path. I do have codes at the top of my screen, so you can just follow them if you are a bit lost. But pretty much I'm just jumping down this huge cave or ravine, whatever you want to call it, and I'm looking for the mushrooms. So I've got a few here, but the main ones I want are in here. So when I start grinding these out, I'm going to quickly put a timer on before actually. Okay, we can stop. But basically, you're going to notice that your collection's probably going to go insane because of how fast you're farming. I've already got mushroom 5 and I don't think I had much collection before. But pretty much, once you have a bunch of these mushroom blocks, you can put them in your personal compactor once you unlock the enchanted recipe, and you'll notice that this sells a lot to NPC. I can't remember if it sells more to NPC than Bazaar, but we can just check that after the test. I haven't done this method on a normal profile. I normally use it on Bingo because it's kind of insane. That is 30 minutes. The first thing I want to check is, does this sell more to NPC or Bazaar? So it looks like we can just sell the red ones to NPC and the brown ones the same. Also, I did max out my collections. That's pretty nice. So if I was to instantly sell my inventory, I would sell it for 1.3 million. But if I NPC sell it all, which I'm gonna do now, that got me 1.35 million. So in 1 hour, you make 2.7 million coins. Now, this isn't the most money per hour, don't get me wrong, but for it being such an early money-making method that you could do straight away, as soon as you start a profile, it is pretty nice. But on to the next method. Okay, so for this one, we are going to be killing treasure hoarders. Now, treasure hoarders are a mob that drop starfall in the dwarven mines, in the upper mines. I'll show the area in a little bit, but for now we're going to go over the setup. So for this setup, I'm in full wise glaciite. This is probably around a 200k set, maybe a little bit cheaper. You're going to want to reforge this with wise, and the weapon we're going to be using is the Aurora Staff. Now, it is very important to make sure you have looting 4 and scavenger 4 on the Aurora Staff. So you can buy it, lowest bin is around 1.2 million. You can snipe one for 1 mil if you're a little bit patient. Of course, make sure you reforge it to heroic for the extra mana. Now, the talisman power we're using is inspired. I do have Sighted unlocked, which you get unlocked at Combat 15, but I'm going to use Inspired just for the purpose of the video. In case you are using a setup and you don't have Sighted, Sighted is obviously better. So holding the Aurora Staff, I get 1.1k mana. So if you have around 1.1k mana, you should be fine too. We're going to now go into the Dwarven Mines and I'll show you exactly where the treasure hoarders are. So you're going to want to come over to the Ramparts Quarry and you're going to want to climb up these ladders until you get to the very top, and you'll see like this bridge thing here. So you'll see treasure hoarders around this area, for example, one there and one here, and then you're gonna also come into this cave and there'll be some here. So the path you want to take is kill the ones in the cave, and then come out the cave and kill the ones here. Now, there is someone in this lobby, so I'm going to go ahead and swap. But you're going to want to do this in a lobby where there isn't anyone else because your profits will obviously suffer. If you can keep killing these constantly without having to wait for them to spawn, you're doing it correctly. If you have to wait, then there's a problem. So I'm gonna find a new lobby and then start a timer for 30 minutes. We have finished grinding. It has been about 30 minutes. I'm just gonna go up here real quick. But we have a full inventory, and if we go to our ender chest, we got a bit more of an inventory here. Now, these opal reforges aren't really what's gonna make us the money. The starfall is. This will still make a decent amount of money. So we're going to go to the hub and see how much money this is. So we're going to start off with the starfall. Now, if we instantly sell, we get 3.2, nearly 3.3 million. But we're going to put a sell offer, which will be 3.5 million, nearly 3.6 million. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. But it is important to note, you can make more money if you forge the starfall into power crystals and sell that to the bazaar. The only problem with that is you only have 5 slots and it takes a couple hours to forge each crystal. So it's up to you, either forge them or put up a sell offer. So that will get us nearly 3.6 million. We already have 92k in the purse from scavenger kills. And then also we have some treasure, right? We can instantly sell this for 234k or sell offer for 300. And now we're just going to sell all the rest to NPC. I have quite a bit of opal reforges here. And that's it. So I'm going to quickly total all of this. So we made about 4 million coins in 30 minutes. So this method makes 8 million coins an hour. This is not bad for such a cheap setup. And realistically, the only expensive bit comes from the Aurora staff. I don't have too much talisman power. You can probably buy all these talismans for less than 3, maybe 400k. I can't imagine a lot of these would be expensive. You can get a lot of them for free. But onto our last method. Now, you can't do a money-making guide without including Zealots. Now, Zealots have been around for a very long time. Thing is, Zealots are always going to be good. The price is always going to be high for eyes, especially when it hits around the time that Diana's made, because people buy them a lot. You'll see eye prices go from around 950 to 1 million coins all the way up to 1.3 million coins, sometimes reaching as high as 1.5 million coins. It really just depends if Diana has the 25 pet luck, because people will use the eyes to summon dragons. But let's talk about the setup we're going to be using for this. So we're going to be using full ender armor, and we're going to be using the void sword. Now, the void sword is going to be very nice for damage here. We're not killing bruisers, because that is just not early game. I could probably kill them with the Aurora staff, but it will just be too slow. Now, I only have one piece of equipment, but we should still deal enough damage. Also, the pet I've been using throughout all this money grinding is the Enderman pet. It's not an insane pet and very cheap. Anyone can get it on the auction house for around 2k coins, or just drop it yourself like I did. And the way you get a void sword is when you come to the end, you'll find the lone adventurer standing around this area. All you have to do is talk to him and then kill 5 Endermen at the top. After doing so, he will offer you the void sword, and you can buy that off him for around 200k coins. After that, you're going to want to enchant it, and then you're good to go. You do want to be in full ender armor with the fierce reforge and the void sword to be on spicy. We also need to swap back to the warrior power before we try and attack zealots. So here's the first zealot, and we are indeed one-shotting them. We're going to just find a path and then start grinding these out. I'm probably going to turn on hitboxes so these are a little easier to see. But I expect this to make a decent amount of money. Of course, this is luck-based though, because I'm going after the special zealots. Special zealots have a 1 in 420 chance of spawning. They spawn when you kill a zealot. You could get one eye every 200 kills, but the average is 1 in 420. So we'll see how lucky I get. I'm going to start the timer for 1 hour as soon as I turn on my hitboxes, and then we'll go. I put on a zealot counter and a special zealot counter. I'm using Badlion client, so if you want the same thing, just download that. But at the top of my screen, you can see my zealot kills are going up. Unfortunately, still at 0 summoning eyes, but you know, what can you do? It's a luck game. I am going to quickly put my coins away because I didn't do that. And that is the hour done. Okay, now as you can see from the top of my screen, I have 6 special zealots and I killed 1,734 normal zealots. Now I've got all the eyes at the bottom, but this isn't all the loot. In my ender chest, I've got more pearls, so I'm going to be selling all of these to the bazaar and then we'll see how much money we're at. I do also have 320k coins in the purse from the scavenger enchant. It's very important to make sure you put Scavenger 4 on your weapon to get the most amount of coins out of your kills. So we can instantly sell our summoning eyes for 6.7 million, nearly 6.8, or we could put in a sell offer and get 7.1 million coins. So we're going to go ahead and do that. And now we've got the crystal fragments. Now I'm going to turn these into catalysts to get a little bit more money out of them. And I can instantly sell for 445k or sell off for 468. I'm just going to instantly sell, and there isn't much difference with the pearls, so I'm just going to instantly sell those too. Everything else in my inventory can just be instantly sold too, so I'll just sell my full inventory. Now I'm going to sell all these pearls, and that gets me nearly 100k. So I've got 900k in the purse, but I do need to total everything else up, and then we'll see how much I made. So my summoning order already filled, so I'm going to accept this. And that puts the purse at 8,040,000. Honestly, not that bad. I mean, it makes the same amount of money as treasure hoarders, but mine's RNG based, whereas treasure hoarders, it doesn't change. It is just 8 million all the time. But that was the last method I was going to show. So I'm now going to rank all of the methods, starting from most money per hour to least money per hour. This is the end of the video. If you enjoyed the video, like and subscribe. See you in the next one.